What would your life actually feel like if you were unstuck? There are so many women that I work with that I constantly hear that they feel stuck in life. They feel stuck in their career and their jobs and whatever it is that they're trying to do for themselves. And this pattern is the same across the board for women, men, especially young people. This feeling of not feeling like the reason a lot of people feel stuck in life is because their self concept is holding them back from living life, from experiencing things, from putting their best foot forward and just doing it. And I see this mainly with women of color, women who are wanting to become business owners, and people who just want to get better each and every single day. If you have that feeling innately in you that you want to get better, to improve yourself, that's so much better. Self-concept is one of the most important things that I will talk about on this channel. From everything with my business coaching to entrepreneurial, self-concept and how you see yourself versus how the world sees you is one of the most important parts. And if your self-concept isn't very good, 9 times out of 10 there are other things in your life that are kind of holding you back from living to your ultimate highest potential. And these beliefs are usually like picked up when we're young, we're in school, we're 5 year olds, whenever we're building our minds. Our minds are being molded until I think the age of 7. So when you look at people and look at children who are very young, your mind at that age is so easily malleable. It's almost like Play-Doh. That's why we play with Play-Doh when we're little kids. And it feels like you're in this constant state of curiosity of what the world is like. And in those moments, you actually are finding yourself in that molding stage of being. And what happens is, things happen, of course, when you're younger, and they mold you into who you are today. And that's one of the things about life. You couldn't change what happened as a child necessarily, good and bad. And you're just here now. And that's great because self-concept itself is one of those things where, and a lot of the work and inner work that I do a lot with my coaching and I've done personally myself, is really getting back to. And one of the reasons why self one of the reasons why self concept is so important is because it literally shapes your identity and it shapes who you are in today's world, right here and right now as an adult. When you think about the mind of a child, your mind as a kid is still forming until you're 25, basically. And when you are young and you're in a childlike state of 7 years old, 5 years old, 13, these things that happen are things that mold you. And your mind is like Play-Doh, whereas though you're easily molded into the person who you're going to become as an adult. And so with that state, and a lot of the work that I do as a coach is really focusing in on that inner work of like that childlike state, because there's so much gold that is there in terms of like the things that you experienced as a kid that have molded you into who you are today. But sometimes those self beliefs and self concepts can actually be blocking you or hindering you from being more successful. Maybe you have like old programming, limitations, beliefs that aren't necessarily true that keep you from attaining that next level that you probably desire to be at. And so working with your inner child is one of those things that is so life changing when you do it correctly. And what happens when you are in that childlike state is your subconscious is forming. So a lot of the things that, subconsciously have happened over time has literally molded your mind into the mind that you live in, do things and you go out and, live every single day life with now, with subconscious beliefs from when you were like 7, 5 that you probably don't even remember. And the reason that you're stuck is not because you're actually stuck. It isn't because you have bad luck. It's not because you lack something that you need to find from somebody else. It is literally you, babes. It's your own self-conscious. It's your own subconscious It's how you see yourself, how you show up, and as living and as being. And that's the great thing about doing inner work, and that, I do as a business coach is help people get really tapped into their own inner work, doing the work behind the scenes so that they can live and transform into their best version of themselves. So people constantly say, "Oh, I feel like I'm hitting a wall. I feel like, these undesirable things are happening. It feels like they're on a bad luck streak," which there's no such thing as. The reason why you feel that way is because you're literally hitting mental software that is so ingrained into you that just simply probably needs a tiny change of belief. Your mind is literally, the human brain literally is wired to seek what we know as already being. But the thing about business, the thing about trying something new specifically, is 9 times out of 10, there's so many things that you don't know. And you can't know something that you don't already know. And that's one of the biggest principles of that. So if you believe, oh, I'm not the type of person to make money. Oh, I'm not the person that's good with money. Oh, I'm not the person who can do yoga classes. Oh, I'm not the one who can go to a Pilates studio. You're going to see that in your life. You're going to see that throughout whatever it is that you're telling yourself. The things that we tell ourselves as people, as women, is so important. So if your self-concept is telling you, oh my God, I can't do this because X, Y, and Z, you're going to see the results. Because where you put your thoughts, that's where everything goes, basically. Your self-concept is running the show. And what I see when I'm working with women who are in their feminine energy, running their own businesses, and that I see also in myself, is your subconscious, whether you know it or you don't know it, is literally running the show. It's the star of the show. It's making all of these unconscious, actions that are literally, serving you up for a failure or for success. So constantly you're saying to yourself, and what you're saying to yourself, whether you know it or not, it's being displayed before your eyes. So, are you going to continue on in this path of having a self-concept that is simply poor, or that is in a lack state of mind? That's one of the things that I really have to even ask myself. What do you want for your future self? That's the main thing here that we need to really hone in on. The main thing about our society is that women are taught to play small. We're taught that, oh, you run like a girl. These are the things that are constantly being programmed to us as feminine. And the truth is, your feminine energy is so powerful. You are so powerful just because you are a woman. You can literally make life, if you are a uterus holder. That's one thing. If you have a uterus, you can literally bring a whole other human being into this world, which is insane. So with that energy holds a lot of power that we as women downplay. Some women also hate on, which is one of the most silliest things. We hate on ourselves so much, and on each other so much too. But when you're seeing this shift, for example, women, if you guys don't notice, women are going to be set to make 30%, if I'm not mistaken, of the world's GDP. And that is one of the most impressive things. There are going to be more women business owners than ever before by 2030. So, actually, yeah, by 2035, there are going to be more business women who are female than ever before. So you as a businesswoman, this is the time to start now with your self-concept, with leveling up, with investing in yourself. So, with that pep talk, you can either run with things, or you can, just stay in like a beaten down state. Main thing is breaking that cycle of thinking, breaking that cycle of self-concept that isn't serving you. Your self-concept and your energy, whether you be, whatever type of feminine energy that you personally hold, you really need to hone in on the fact that your self-concept literally rules your world. It rules the universe that you have, and it rules the universe that you decide to allow things to be in. So if your world is literally a reflection of your inner self. And if your inner self, needs work, which most of us do. There's nothing wrong with us. It's just maybe something needs to be, changed around for us to live the lifestyle that we desire to live, to be in the energy of being a feminine in the exact way that we desire it mentally to be. There's so much work that can be done on yourself, and the inner work will literally make your outer work feel so much better if you do it properly. Have been wanting to make this video for so long on self-concept just because the fact that you can literally tap into your own energy and come out on the other side of things way different than you went into things as being. I love the transformational aspect of self-concept and of doing inner work because of the fact that you do see results. And on the exterior, you see all of the results there. The one way that you can really change your self-concept is by reworking your identity. So really, I urge you all to, one of the things that really helps you with your self-concept is writing down your own identity. So what are the beliefs that you think about yourself? Do you think that, who are you basically? What is the identity that you're working with right now? Some people leave their identity to, things that they do, or to, like, let's say you're a student, your identity is as a person who's a student. What is your identity currently as holding? What do you see yourself as? Really writing that down or thinking on it. And that's like one of the first steps to really understanding your own personal self-concept into changing things that you desire to change. Because identifying what you think of yourself right now is so important to your overall self-concept and what it is that you're currently holding. So if you're thinking, oh, I'm not confident enough, saying things to yourself like, I am confident, I am already that person, I am that girl. You have to act almost as if your dream self is already existing, living, and really tapping into that self-belief already in this world. So doing things to improve your confidence. Let's say that your goal for your self-concept is to become more confident. That's a very real thing. And one of the things that helps with confidence, of course, is, getting into your body. Exercising helps. Confidence building. Making sure that you trust yourself. These are the things that builds you up for having more confidence. And with that confidence, you're able to invest in yourself, to move forward in ways that you didn't think that you could ever move, to have situations and be in rooms that you never thought that you could even get to. And that's one of the reasons why self-confidence and self-concept is so important as a business person, as anybody. A lot of the times we as women also do this one thing where it's, seeking external validation. For example, a lot of women also suffer, especially if you're a successful woman of color, you can suffer at times from imposter syndrome, which is like the biggest buzzword of the century, it feels like. But imposter syndrome, what it does is it takes away from your own innate value, and it makes you not trust yourself because people constantly question you. It makes you question yourself, so on and so forth. I made a video on imposter syndrome. If you guys would like to check it out, it's one of my best videos, I think. Check that video out. I'm gonna do a little annotation if I remember. Girl, I don't like editing, but we move on. One of the best ways to actually reinvent yourself with your self-concept is identifying what are the beliefs that you're holding, what are the beliefs that you're carrying, how do you move forward, how does your self-concept affect you in life. Believe it or not, a lot of the things that people don't realize about success is not a thing. It's not something that can be attained. It's literally an identity. It's literally a thought manifested in action. That's what success is in itself. So I urge you all, think about your own personal identity, maybe even put it in the comments if you're brave enough, and talk about also and write about what and who it is that you desire to really be and to do and to have. This exercise would be to write down another limiting belief that you have. So if you have, a few limiting beliefs, telling you, oh, I can't do X, Y, and Z because of this, write that down. And then what I want you to do is the opposite of that. is your self-concept really does have everything to do with what's going on inside of you and the inner work that you need to be done. So if you guys are interested in, putting in more effort into doing your inner work, working with a business coach, leveling up, I love to transform people into the best versions of themselves. The self concept that you have for yourself, holding yourself prisoner is not going to do anything. It's not going to keep you, it's not going to allow you to achieve that next level of success. The only thing that you can do to really change that is changing your identity. And that literally has to start not yesterday, not tomorrow, today, okay? Leave you all with this final thought. I leave you all with this final thought is that everything that you desire, everything that you think that somebody else has is already within you already, and you just need to tap in. Just tap in. So make sure you guys are commenting below what's one mindset shift that you can do today that's going to help you tomorrow and the days down the road because of the one thing that you did to put into action today. Make sure that you guys check me out on socials, and and if you guys like to work with me one-on-one, make sure that you guys DM me or email me, and yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one.